welcome back. So in this video, we're going to be covering the WooCommerce report page or reports page. And what this is going to show is some general stats about your WooCommerce website, what's going on, your sales, and even some of the stock features. So we're going to be covering all of that now. What you're going to do is go over to your dashboard, hover over WooCommerce and go to reports. This is going to bring you to the reports page, which is going to show you a bunch of stats. So by default, it's going to bring you to the orders page. So what this is going to show is just pretty much everything to do with your sales and your orders. So it shows your gross sales. So this is everything you've ever made. This includes any refunds and anything. So this is the gross sales, your net sales, the number of orders placed and items purchased. And remember, orders can be cancelled. So there's a difference between orders and items purchased. So remember that and keep that in mind. And then you have any refunded orders. So it shows here the total amount of refunds. It shows the amount of orders as well right here. It shows the amount charged for shipping and of course the amount showed in coupons. So there is no data here because no one has purchased anything, but you can see that each one has a color. You can see this one's light blue, blue, gray, lighter gray, red, green, and yellow, and these will all show on the chart. On top of that, if you hover over a dot, it will show you the full amount. So for example, if this was, let's say, gross sales in February, and it could show 1,500 euros or 2,000 euros, if you hover over it, it will show you in that black box. So you can also change the time scale that it's at. You can go yearly, in a weekly scale, a monthly scale, and you can even view the current month or the previous month. You can also set it to a custom sort of format. So you can set it to from, let's say one quarter to the other quarter. You can set it from January to March or January to April. So you can view quarterly sales like that. Unfortunately, there are no quarterly sales here, but you can set that from here. So you can go something like January to April. So there we go. You can also click on these to sort of refine your searches. So if I click on customer downloads, you can see everything there is to do with the amount of downloads. And we don't have any virtual products, so it shows everything here. I'm not going to go through all of these because it's not very important, but I'm going to go over the main parts of the WooCommerce report page. So now we're going to go over to customers and see what we have there. So this is pretty much just going to show everything to do with the customers. So this is going to include signups. This is going to include sales. So you can see here, it's the same time scale work and kind of thing. And you can see the amount of signups in this period, which is just, the amount of signups in the current time scale you're using. And then it shows customer sales against guest sales. So this is a pretty important feature, and this may be something for concern if it's too low. So if the guest sales are extremely high and the customer sales are low, it may be time to start promoting users to sign up. Again, having customers and regulars is very great. Repeat customers bring in lots of money for your e-commerce website. So you can use this to analyze what's going on. Then you, of course, have your customer list over here. If you click on it, it'll show a list of all of your signed up customers. So there we go. You can see it shows all of that. It shows our username, the email. We don't have a location yet. And then it shows some information about what they're doing, as well as being able to manage them. You can actually edit it and delete or edit users based on what you want. So let's go to the stock. Now, stock is a very, very useful feature, and I use it all the time in e-commerce websites. So pretty much this just shows some information about your product's stock. So if you set a certain amount of stock, which we did when creating the products, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 or however many items or products you have in your warehouse, this will show if they're low. So remember that when a user purchases it, it takes one away from the stock. So we have three features here. It shows low in stock, out of stock, and most stock. So it shows the product name. It shows a parent if there is any. So remember that products can also have child products, which is a little bit confusing, but don't worry about that. It shows the amount of stock, and then it shows the status. So this can be low or out of stock or normal or high. Then you can view some actions here. Again, there's nothing to be found here, but you can view some actions and edit them. So let's go to the most stock so you can see what these actions look like. They're very similar to our user actions. So pretty much you can just edit them and, view them if you want. So you can see here it says the product, the amount, and then it says the status, which is either, normal, low, or out of stock. So there we go, stock is finished. Let's move on to taxes. So taxes isn't the most confusing thing. It doesn't really show much, but it just shows a little bit about taxed things. So taxes that customers have paid. So it shows the taxes that customers have paid. You can change the timescale normally again. It shows the rate, the number of orders, the amount, and then the shipping amount, and then the total tax. So along with that, you can also export this to a CSV file, but I'm not really going to cover CSV in this course, but what CSV is pretty much just a giant spreadsheet that you can manipulate and work with. It's very useful, especially for data visualization and all sorts of other things. So you can do this with almost all of the lists here. But that's pretty much it for the reports page. It's quite simple, but it has a lot of very useful features that you can use for analyzing, and pretty much it's just your best marketing tool. It's your best marketing tool and your best friend. So instead of having to hire some sort of data analyst to analyze your e-commerce market, you can just do it yourself with this WooCommerce reports tool. All right, let's move on.